we did very, very well on Friday. We haven't had a lot of big commanding wins like that, or what we call statement wins, and so felt really good about that. Got to get some more guys involved, save some legs from our center mids and our back line, which we don't always get the opportunity to do. And going from a game like that where you win 4-0 in a very commanding performance, and then to come out and play a top 20 or top 25 team in the country, it is a tough switch and tough to get up to pace. Ultimately, as I watched film back, I was obviously very frustrated losing 1-0 to Colorado Mines, but I think there are quite a few positives for us, and that it was a good performance on a lot of fronts. Ultimately, it came down to a set piece, which is how they often score. Their center back has 5 goals on the year now, obviously all on set pieces, but that's a threat we knew about and just didn't quite manage. But the rest of the game, we did create some opportunities for ourselves. We defended well for the majority of it. So positives to take away from that weekend, and now we have a massive one coming up on Friday. We play Fort Lewis. We're 1 point ahead of them in the standings. Right now we're in the 4th seed, which hosts the first round of the playoff games. They're in the 5th seed, which doesn't. So a lot on the line coming up this Friday.
Yeah, so what was going so right against South Dakota, and then what do you think went wrong?
Athletically, I'm sure these two could probably comment better than I could, but athletically, those are two different groups. And I think you saw Lewan have a lot of joy on Friday against South Dakota Mines. His pace couldn't be matched by anyone on their back line. And you look at Colorado Mines' back line, both outside backs are very, very pacey. Their center backs are very, very physical, and that it wasn't just a pure athletic battle for him. And through the midfield as well, I think Colorado Mines is playing better soccer than we've seen in quite a few years. And traditionally, they were dump the ball forward, win balls in the air, make the most of long throws, make the most of set pieces, and they're doing a bit more with the ball on the ground now, which makes them a more dynamic team. Ultimately, we didn't give them a whole lot in the run of play, and just didn't have our own moment. I mean, if we did get a goal in that game, I think I would have fancied us to go on in overtime and do a little bit more. I think we do need to find more in the attacking half, and that's something you guys are probably sick of me saying. But it's like each week, it's, well, if we only concede 1 goal, it's on our some of our attacking play to get it done. And you look at Colorado Mines scoring their goal on a second ball, which is the ball served into a box, a flick on, and they get onto the second one. We had those same opportunities and just didn't quite pounce on them. So making the most of when we get the ball in the box has been a problem for us.
And South Dakota Mines is your former team.
Yeah, yes, that's right.
So what was it like to have a statement win against them? I'm sure that felt great.
Yeah, it did. It did, but for the group as well, we haven't been able to celebrate like we did after that game in quite some time, and just have a really positive feeling about a performance. And our standards since the beginning of the season, our expectations of ourselves have been incredibly high, and we think of us as a top 10 team in the country. And every time we don't hit that standard, there's stuff for us to do, whether it's individually or as a group or as a coaching staff. So it was a great feeling on Friday to be able to have that, and then a reminder on Sunday, all right, we're still not quite where we want to be.
For you guys, now that the season is starting to get a little bit more intense, do you see the focus and intensity getting that way during practice and understanding the situation you guys are in if you want to perform well for RMAC?
I do. I think we did lack it a little bit on Sunday, though, which is unfortunate to see, especially for how big of a game it was. I thought we lacked a little bit of our bite that we usually have. But I think I'd say our team cohesiveness and chemistry is coming a lot better now. We feel more better as a team, and that we are getting to where we need to be with our wins. And, I mean, Mines, they battled well, and they just kind of disrupt us from our flow of game that we wanted to play. And so I think that we were unlucky to not come away with a result there. But, I mean, the team, I think, is definitely getting better. And I like the team fight, and I think we're taking steps in the right direction.
With the end of season kind of coming here, do you guys kind of look at that and say, all right, hey, we've had some slip-ups in the past. Let's not let that happen. The intensity, is that still there in practice?
Yeah, so as we're coming toward the end, we just got to realize that now we got to shoot for as high as we can in the conference. The regional rankings will be coming out, so we'll be looking at those a little bit just to kind of push ourselves to make sure that we have the right mentality and that we keep the things that are going well for us, keep them going, and the things that we need to improve on, that we'll hit those points in practice and make sure come postseason time that we'll be hitting all our right strides and we'll be flying forward.
been there yet, and it's just, and it's different areas of the game. You're just kind of still trying to figure out
Yeah,
exactly
it's
what's going on. and-
yeah. So sometimes it's like we come out really hot, but then maybe we die off at the end of a half, or that's the other way around. We come off really slow, and then we come out really hot toward the end of the half. So it's just kind of we always have our program rules. We want to play to our standards consistently, and so that's been a bit of an issue that we've had going forward. But I feel like with the more run of games that we had, at least up until South Dakota Mines, we were doing good with that. Good win against Dixie and good win against South Dakota Mines, good statement win, as we said. And so I think now we're just trying to find our standards to keep them consistent. And the problem is that we just got to stick to our game plan. And I think sometimes we fall away from that, which is part of our problem with our consistency. But if we do stick to our core principles and our game plan, then I think we'll be able to hit our aspirations and our goals.
Brendan, you get another shutout, but unfortunately the one goal was the difference in the last game. I know we kind of talked, you're pretty tough on yourself, much less what you want for this team. What defensively has been working for you, and kind of you have like another strong game that you did against South Dakota?
To be honest, I think to go back to the consistency, I think our one area where we've been consistent is defending, and the four of us at the back and the two outside backs that come back in when they get subbed in, we understand how we all work and stuff, and at the end of the day we just have to stop the ball going in, and this just seemed to work. Isn't it, like Conniff said, the South Dakota game was completely different to the other Mines game. They're not really looking to, if they're going to hurt us, it's going to be off a poor mistake from someone, or it's going to be off the run of play. If it's Mines, if you look at the first half, at the end of the day, they were pretty much all over us for the first half. So it's just like, can we hang on? Can we survive? We did for the first half, and then an error, a kind of like string of errors in about a minute, kind of led to their goal. And the team, like top 10 team in the country, Colorado Mines, are going to punish us for that. And that's where the inconsistency comes in, just in little tiny areas of the game.
Is there something to build off from that? I mean, being the top 25 team that you guys were playing against, is there something to take away from that where you can be like, okay, hey, there was something, let's try to work on that and continue?
Well, I mean, we can work on it by the fact that it's happened, and we can see like how they're punishing us compared to how we're not punishing us. And I feel like going forward, like scoring goals, as you all know, is probably our area where we're inconsistent. We can score 4 against South Dakota and then not really look like we're going to score against Colorado Mines. And yeah, we can just look at how they do things. And I know we're a top 25 team as well, but taking things off other top 25 teams is only going to help us.